Does maxed out Trunk feel like cheating? Find out today with me, Code Nubs. Before we get into that, there is one thing I need to mention about Allie. One of her star powers confused me so much, and that's this one. I spent like 10 minutes trying to figure out what it does, and it literally just makes you start healing faster when you're enraged. Now, the reason it confused me is because it said out of combat, and if we look at Tick's star power, it says something completely different even though it's the exact same ability. So I thought out of combat meant something completely different. Turns out out of combat is literally just normally healing. So there, it's out of the way. Allie just has a much worse version of Tick's star power. Do not use that star power on Allie. Also, if you would like to enter my Persephone Lumini giveaway, then subscribe right now and keep in touch for the YouTube short that I post later, so then you can win the skin. All right, now we have Trunk, the newest epic tank brawler in the game. 10,000 health, 2,800 damage, which is a pretty decent amount of damage. And I know nothing about this character's star powers or gadgets again. I'm not even sure if they showed them in the Brawl Talk, either that or I talked over them, but we're gonna find out everything today, and hopefully I will fully understand what is going on with this brawler, unlike Allie. So before anything, let's go in the training cave and just test out his base abilities. I'm assuming he has fast movement speed, which is average for tanks. He's just a little goofy guy. I love his character model. And the main attack is basically a Jackie attack that has a delay on it. So just like a mix between Jackie and BB, I guess, but it looks like it has a crit on it. Is it the farther away you are, the more damage it does? That's what it looks like. I'm gonna test it on the big bot real quick. So that far away does 2,800 damage, then 3,600. So if I go a little bit closer, then okay, I'm confused. 2,500. If I go even closer, 2,500, 2,500. Okay, so what is the crit window? It seems like it's at the corner. You can see the little ring whenever I attack. That must be the crit, and I actually like that. That's cool. Just throwing a little bit of shade mechanics in there too. And now we have the super. Just reminds me of like a Daryl roll, but maybe a little bit better. Let's just go for it. Whoa, there's like impact frames on that. That's kind of cool. Doesn't seem like it does. I mean, no, it does pretty good damage. It's just so weird because like, yeah, like you kind of stop on them when you hit them with it, which is good since you kind of want to do that in order to get more damage with the super. You don't just go straight through them. If you went straight through them, you probably wouldn't do that much damage, but look at this. Yeah, what? That's so weird. So you don't completely stop, but you do slow down with every hit. And it looks like you can bounce with it. So it really is like Daryl. It's just like a different Daryl super that does not knock people away. I like this super. Look at that damage. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you use it correctly, you're gonna do a lot of damage with this. This is a lot cooler than I thought it was gonna be. Very cool brawler. We're gonna have to read this attack because it seems like that is where the ants come into play. Trunk spins in a circle after a short delay, dealing damage to enemies and dropping ants. Standing near ants gives Trunk a 20% movement speed and a 30% damage boost. The edge of the attack deals more damage to enemies. Okay, so I was doing over 3,000 damage because I was on the ants. Otherwise, the crit does 2,800. Trunk is a lot more complex than I thought he would be. Starting with the gadgets though, first one is called For the Queen. Trunk instantly spreads ants in a large area, 7-second cooldown, very short. There's a lot of different ways to spread ants, but if we press the gadget, then yeah, it's just that. It's more ants. How long do they last? Looks like a while. Whoa, yeah, they stay there for a really long time. Now, the other gadget has a 16-second cooldown. Trunk heals from the first source of damage taken for the next 2 seconds. I wonder if that healing depends on how much damage you take. I guess we'll find out. If I heal more than how much damage this bot does to me, then we know that it's kind of a fixed amount and it's not really based on how much damage you're taking. So let's just see. It is 500. Okay, so if you get hit by like a Piper shot, then you might take a lot more. We're gonna test that later. Now on to the star powers. First one is called New Insect Overlords. Ants also reduce the damage of enemies by 15%. Okay, we don't really need to show that, but you know what it does. If the enemy is standing on the ants, they deal less damage. Really self-explanatory. And the other star power is called Colony Scouts. Ants reveal hidden enemies. So I'm assuming that means invisible enemies and enemies in bushes. We also can't show this in the training cave, so it is time for Brawl Science. All right, so firstly, we are going to test the gadget and we're gonna see if I can tank or heal a full B shot. So let's see. Yep, 4,400 healing. That's kind of crazy. So it really depends on which brawler you're fighting, because if you get hit by like a Colt shot, you're gonna be healing like 300. But yeah, a charged B shot, you're getting half of your health bar back, and like a Piper shot, anything like that. So this gadget definitely makes him a really good tank. Now we are going to test the revealing star power in bushes and against invisible brawlers. So if I just leave some ants right there, and he stands in them, and if he goes invisible, let's see. Yep, he's still visible. Now I'm just gonna leave a trail of ants here, and then I'm gonna run Leon through them while he's invisible. So he's gonna be visible that whole time, but then as soon as he leaves, he should be gone, and then he goes back on them, and he's visible again. Now I'm gonna leave a bunch in the bushes, and it should be the same thing, but I'm gonna test it anyways. You can really make bushes useless as this character, huh? Yeah, look at that. They're completely useless. So even without the gadget, just using your attacks and your super, you basically have a squeak residue that stays there even longer, but it doesn't slow people down. Like, I'm sure I can cover most of this bush with just my super. Yeah, like most of it is covered now, and Leon can't really go stealthy in them. Why is he going in them now when I use my super on it? That's kind of weird. It's not working at all. So what if I go in there and I use my main attack again? All right, main attack is used and it's working. Okay, so it seems like the super ants don't work the same. Well, now I have to test it. So let's use the super ants here, and let's see if Leon going invisible actually goes. Nope. Yep, it's broken. They need to fix this. Unless it's supposed to be this way and I missed it. Those ants are not working as intended. Yeah, it's just not working at all. He's running straight through them, and yeah, he's not becoming visible. This is why we test things. Never trust your super ants until they fix it. Let me just read the super to make sure. It drops ants along the way. Doesn't say anything about them not actually functioning as they should. Nor does the star power. So yeah, I think that those ants are just broken. The ones from the attack work. Let's test the gadget too. I put the pool down. Let's see if it takes him. Nope, does not take him out of invisibility, but this one on the top left does. That's so weird. I think the one on the top left is also glowing a little bit brighter. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Maybe only the main attack ones are supposed to work. Maybe they did that on purpose. I really have no way to tell. So again, there's a trail of the normal attack ones. They're working perfectly fine. I'm going to put this down and put Leon through it. Doesn't work. He goes through these. It works. Goes back in there. Does not work. All right, we're hopping into a bot match with him, because if there's one thing we know about this game, it's that the good brawlers are good against bots. If a brawler feels weak against bots like Kaze did, you already know that they're gonna not feel that strong on release. At least they won't be strong everywhere. But yeah, with these stats and these abilities, I have a feeling that Trunk should be pretty good. Wait, can I do a lot of damage to the safe? Uh-oh. 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 Wait, go in. Bro, he's kind of good. I'm gonna die. Oh my gosh. Heal me. Oh my gosh. Bruh, I was fighting Colt, the one brawler I said you shouldn't fight with that gadget. Do I have a tank trait? No, I do not. They're hitting me and I don't have it. I also didn't read it on his description, so yeah, I definitely don't have that. Is he good against the safe? I can't really tell. All right, let's try it again. Let's see how much damage we can do. Oh my gosh, please, this Colt bot. I need to get my super, but I need to use like the whole duration on the heist safe. Okay, let me get really close to it, and then let's try and deal however much damage. Okay, that was like 8,000-ish. I think that's the most you can get out of it unless you bounce around. Yeah, overall, he's way better than I thought he was going to be. Like, he has more mechanics than I thought he would have as well. So yeah, at first, I thought he was going to be really simple, but now that I've tried him out, now that I see everything he has, I think people are really going to enjoy him. This update didn't really have much permanent stuff in it, but at least the brawlers are cool. And the dodgeball mode also looks fun. So yeah, we'll see if it carries over until the next update, or if people end up just kind of getting bored after the first few weeks. I think the Angels versus Demons event actually will do pretty well, despite it being like a copy, just because the first time it came around, it was like so massive. So yeah, we'll see if the collab comes in the next update, or if the collab was Sonic and then moved over to Squad Busters. Let me know what you guys think about that collab, because I don't even know. I don't know what happened to it. And yeah, make sure you subscribe for Persephone Lumi, and I will see you later. Have a good night.